Interesting stories. Interesting people. Welcome to the Humble Badger Podcast.
Thank you for listening to this podcast today. You can follow us at The Humble Badger on Twitter and Facebook, or at The Humble Badger Podcast on Instagram. This episode is brought to you with the help of our promotional partners at Living Arts Center, your arts and entertainment hub in the heart of Mississauga. Find out more about their programs and events at livingartscenter.ca. My name is Pablo Dawson. I am a dramedian and an event host, and I am your host for this episode of the Humble Badger Podcast. As you know, we always start off with random facts, informations. Sometimes it's stuff the listeners send us. So a listener question: what is your favorite bar and or bar experience? Now, of course, I've been known to frequent a bar or two in my life, so I do have my favorite bar story, and that actually comes from my time at 30 Rock. And I don't mean I was on the show. I'm a little young for that, but I mean at the time when I was at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, and they have this wonderful bar right at the base. You can see the skating rink from the inside, and it's a beautiful place. It's set up very nicely, and they make the best old fashions. I had quite the time entertaining the mostly American crowd there, and it was an awesome experience for me. I'd love to know what my co-host's favorite bar experience was.
Hello. Are we getting straight to the bar already? Hey, it's Melissa Manish here. Happy to be of service. Thank you so much for having me on your wonderful podcast, Pablo.
Thanks for being here.
Now, I am a success coach, a salsa coach. My new program is Salsa Hybrid, and I'm also a best-selling author, international speaker at your service.
So you've been to a bar or two with all that resume.
Guys, do I really want to say? Yes, love the bar scene. In fact, my favorite kind of bar, salsa bar. My favorite kind of bar as well that includes wine and paint. Ooh la la, include me, please.
You like going to a paint bar. That's interesting.
Well, what are we painting?
Well, we'll get into that later, but I think our special guest today might have some information about bars and paint bars specifically.
Hello. I'm Julia from the Studio Paint Bar. So good to know that people like to go to paint bars, right? Especially since I opened said business. plug.
Yes, come for the paint, stay for the bar. That's what I do anyway. So, Julia, yes, you are the proud proprietor of the Studio Paint Bar, located there in Port Credit. It's quite a unique place. Can you tell us sort of what was the thinking behind opening this type of establishment?
Ooh, you want the long or the short of it?
Well, it's a 15 to 20 minute podcast, so just keep that in mind. But
Well, I mean, I've always been creative, and I had been working in corporate for about 14 years, working in various positions in banking and healthcare, which is amazing. I was enjoying that sphere of my life, but I kind of, I guess, needed to do my creative flex. I was totally inspired by going to a paint night itself. One of my best friends took me for my birthday, and it was amazing because I saw a whole bunch of people taking the plunge and doing something new.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, face your fear, get painted.
Absolutely.
Wait,
painted and wasted at the same time, right?
get painted and wasted at the same time. That should be your next slogan.
I'll join that event.
Trademark the Pablo Dawson Company.
But yeah, and then I came home and I was super inspired, so I started doing it with my son, who is actually the muse of the studio.
Oh.
So we started actually doing mommy and me paint nights for people, and the beauty about that was that you're doing something at the same level as a 4-year-old, but giving them that dignity. Mommy's also painting the same thing, and
was it creepy when a mommy brought her 31-year-old son? Did that ruin the vibe?
Actually, we have that happen all the time, and it's so lovely.
Guys, it's hard times these days, you know?
True,
we got to stick to our home front as long as possible.
It's actually really sweet. It's a really nice time, nice way to unplug for 2.5 hours and spend time with somebody that you love, and you're not checking your phones unless you're taking pictures of the cool and awesome things you're doing. But it's a really great bonding opportunity. So we have a lot of moms and older sons come in, and older daughters come in, and it's amazing.
Yeah, well, fun's for any age and every age, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Loving your social media presence. Now, I'm
Oh,
also in the business of promoting best self, promoting things that will encourage and really enlighten people to be their best.
right.
And your space really encourages that. That's what I'm seeing on your social media. So, who's in charge with keeping you looking good, feeling good online?
Oh, well, that would be me at the moment.
Why are we not surprised? You're amazing.
Well, no,
So
actually,
happy.
my team and I have really great chemistry, and we come up with ideas on the fly. It's kind of like, how it was on Studio Night Live with our lovely host Pablo Das.
Yeah, it was a fun time for sure, 100%.
We totally enjoy working together, and we have so many creative ideas, and I think that just comes out in our social media. We love it.
Yeah. In doing an event venue like that you have, which is so unique, do you find it difficult sort of as an entrepreneur because there's not necessarily a roadmap ahead of you? It's not like you opened a cookie shop that you can look at other cookie shops. I mean, there are other paint bars, but what you do is so unique. Do you ever find that difficult that there isn't a roadmap in place that you can maybe check yourself against?
In some aspects, yes, it is a little difficult to be like trailblazing in that sense because you don't have other people to look to for good best practice. But it is super liberating and exciting because everything I'm doing is, exhilarating, and I'm able to do this on my own. So when we were first looking to open the studio, we were actually offered like franchises or different companies to follow. And I was always like, it was always a resounding no, I want to do our own thing. I want to be creative. I want us to instill creativity in our guests and our clients. And so that's why this is super exciting. Yeah.
Well, even listening to you are super inspiring. Have you ever heard of Willy Wonka and the Wonka Chocolate Factory?
Yes, obviously.
Get your golden tickets, everybody. Your
Someone
golden
say chocolate?
tickets. Nom, 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 nom. That badger, right? What was the inspiration behind, I guess, the fun alignment with a Willy Wonka imaginative feel to the look of those golden ticket cards on your most, I don't even know what it was, but tell us how and why. Like what Willy Wonka? Hello.
So you're referring to our gift certificates. We are purveyors of an experience pretty much at the studio. And I think experience is the most important part of what we do. So if you come to a paint night at the studio, it's totally different. It's in the sense that we go totally 4D. So from food paired with wines that we're serving to multimedia. So music is really like important to the paintings that we do. So for example, we did a Phantom painting. So we had a lot of Phantom inspired music. When we did Seinfeld, we had Seinfeld inspired music. It's just important to us. So
What's the deal with? No, sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. What's the deal with these paint nights anyways? Do you drink the paint? Do you paint the wine? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be careful. I don't want to pay Jerry Seinfeld's corporation millions of dollars in royalties here.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
We can't do his
so
jokes.
True. The reference. Good thing I'm not a voice actor, right?
But yeah, so the golden ticket came about when it's part of our branding because everything in the studio is pretty much gold.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's a beautiful thing to present to someone in like an experience. So that's why we went there.
And I think a lot of people may be surprised to learn that, of course, they have great events at the Studio Paint Bar, paint nights, and they have various themes. You can find out more at thestudiopaintbar.ca. They have shows there like Studio Night Live, hosted by Pablo Dawson, for now. But I think a lot of people may be surprised to learn that you actually have classes where you teach people some of the basics and fundamentals of painting. Do you want to let the listeners know a little bit about how they can sign up for classes and what they can expect if they get a class?
Absolutely. So our paint parties, like I said, are a little different too because we teach a lot of technique in those as well. But we have a lot of clients requesting like special technique workshops or master classes. So we're very fortunate to have a nice artist community that we liaise with. And the artists that work at the studio themselves are professional, very accomplished artists that can work in a variety of different mediums. So we teach portrait classes. We have resin classes that we partner with a great local Mississauga artist named Nirja. And we teach, we can teach anything basically. So we take the opportunity whenever people request something that we offer that course.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if you were someone attending your own event. Tell us, I mean, are you someone who enjoys that kind of experience? And what's the best kind of experience for you?
Absolutely. I would totally enjoy that because not only
Because she
are you
loves the owner of the
Right,
studio
like, give us a
campfire.
sneak
That woman's
peek on the
Oh my
amazing.
God,
inside.
not to sound like too into
Hey,
what I'm
listen,
doing, but I am really into what I'm doing. It's like creative
no, and that's
for me.
cool. I am supposed to be the humble badger. You can be as arrogant as you want to be. That's
Well,
just
that's
fine.
not.
Well, there's an experience.
Hello.
No. It really is. I can back her up on that. It is a fun experience, but yeah. You work very hard, Julia, on all of these things. You, of course, handle all the social media. You handle, of course, all the regular things that go into running a business and managing a business. How do you unwind? What do you do for fun? What's your favorite type of ice cream?
Okay,
That's
In
ice
that
cream for
order.
one.
let's start with the ice cream. So my favorite type of ice cream is actually Earl Grey ice cream from Bang Bang.
What?
Ice
Wow,
cream.
that sounds nice.
It's so good. I can't.
Where do you get that?
You have to go to Ossington and Dundas, I believe.
Yeah, that's too far.
Yeah, but it's worth the drive to
It's
Ossington.
worth the drive to Ossington?
Can we
Okay.
drop ship any of that to our houses?
I tried. Actually,
Alexa.
I make it
Yeah.
because you can't get it on the fly, right? So
Hmm.
it's easy to make. But I love Earl Grey ice cream. I love doing what I do. So there are times where it's like high stress at the studio, but then when we have, times in between events and stuff like that, when we're actually doing strategy and we're painting together and we're actually hanging out and we have art club where we, critique each other's paintings and come up with different programs and stuff, that is unwinding for me. And I have 2 little ones and a fur baby. And so
Oh, wow.
that is another way that I unwind. I go home and I see them.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that sounds good. You know how we unwind here at the
How do
Humble
you
Badger
unwind
Podcast?
here?
We play
Pablo?
rapid fire.
Oh.
Yeah,
The
are
rumor
you?
has it that it's not quite rapid.
Yeah, that's some listeners have pointed that out. But you know what? I will not give up my right to interject my opinion and 2 cents on every rapid fire question. You obviously know how to play since you are a listener of the podcast. We're basically going to fire questions at you rapidly. Are you ready?
I think so.
Mhm.
Should I be ready?
Interjections are lovely.
That wasn't a question.
So be ready for the interjections. All right, question number 1. Train or plane?
Train.
Ooh.
I'll go with
Absolutely.
automobile. No, I'm kidding. No, I would prefer plane. What did you say?
Train.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It's
But
a
they're so-
slow experience and
But
you
it's
see the
so,
landscape.
like, you're so close to
you mean like
people.
via rail and stuff
Side
like
by
that?
side.
I
Some
love
guy in the
trains.
train actually fell asleep on my shoulder.
Oh, well,
Mm.
that's interesting.
I didn't mind, actually, because later on we became friends. That's another story.
Oh,
question.
That's a great interjection.
Would you prefer a big party or a small gathering?
Small gathering.
Okay, it's interesting. Why? You didn't even hesitate.
I think I really, really love getting to know people and experiencing with them, And when you have a big crowd, like it's fun to go out sometimes and have a big crowd, but I really rather prefer small gatherings.
Yeah.
That's
What about
probably
you?
why the studio is so small.
That one's actually depends. Again, it really depends on the time of the month.
What?
As a woman,
One of those.
I do. I really enjoy that too. I love listening to your voice. Next question: what is the most useless major in college?
Nothing controversial about that.
Oh dear. I mean, they could all be useless if you don't know how to use it.
That's a very, you know what? She gets a ding for that because that's a very good answer. I think a lot of people could really learn. That's a very profound answer. See, we're dropping some knowledge.
Badger on
You know,
point.
that's
Badger
right.
on point.
You're on
Well,
that-
see,
that-
because I didn't even
nice.
use my major.
So you show yourself your own certificate, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Exactly.
paper. It's
That's
really
how
pretty.
you market yourself.
So next question, what movie has everyone else seen but you haven't?
Everything.
Really?
I've been living under the studio rock for the last. Okay, I saw Star Wars because I mean priorities.
You mean
but
like episode 9 or?
whatever came out last? I don't
The
even.
most
I've
recent
lost
one.
track.
Yeah, the most recent one, yes.
Was it episode 9?
Episode 9 is the last, so there is no more after that. So
didn't know
I
it was
hope
called
that's the
episode
one you saw. But for me, it's Jaws. Everybody goes on about Jaws or E.T. I've never seen either one of these movies. So
Really?
Yeah, I have not. Yes, I
Okay,
see. Now you're
Pablo,
giving me that look.
Come over to my house and we'll watch it.
Yes, in that time that you have to. We'll do it after Studio Night Live
Yes.
next. Okay.
Yes. We'll
So-
play it at the studio.
That is the conclusion of our slow pit fire questions.
Clearly
It's time
we're plugged
for
in.
the trivia portion. And Julia, because you're a listener of the show, you know that it's not about what you know and what you don't know. It's about what we can all learn together. So are you ready?
I guess.
Your topic is famous studios or studio-related questions, because, of course, we like to do everything with puns here at the Humble Badger podcast. Can you tell me, your first question, the French term for studio?
La salle?
Sorry?
La salle?
I have here
Atelier.
atelier.
Le studio? Atelier? Oh, yeah.
Atelier. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. People who speak French, you can send me angry hate mail if you'd like. But
there used to be actually a nice place in downtown Toronto called Atelier. And
well, there you go.
There you go. I've done many of things there, presentations and whatnot.
Yeah.
There you go. The French term for studio. Okay, your next question. There's an unincorporated area, aka a city, within the San Fernando Valley region of Los Angeles County, California, and the entire area and the surrounding area is the property of which major studio?
Universal Studios?
Yes!
Yeah!
Well done. And she's talking about Universal City, California. So,
Yep.
and I got one more question for you. The famous disco club from Manhattan featured in the film, which I can't tell you the name of because it'll give it away. What's the name of the Michael Myers was in that film, and it's a former nightclub.
Which
it was
studio
very
is that?
popular in the 70s.
Studio
a disco
54?
house. That's right.
Yeah!
Well done, well done, well done.
Because these are hard questions.
Yeah, some of them are hard, but you know what?
Atelier one.
Right? You're a smart cookie.
Yeah, well, part of it, I'm very smart because I got a crack research team who feeds me this information. But so shout out to them. But
Wicked. Wow.
it's also because we can learn something all together. So I'd like to thank our guest, Julia from the Studio Paint Bar.
Thank you so much, Pablo.
And I am looking forward to the next season of Studio Night Live and working with the fabulous team there at the Studio Paint Bar. They got a number of great events and classes. It's a lot of fun. Find out more information at thestudiopaintbar.ca. And thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And I'd also like to thank the talented co-host that I have here, Melissa Moniz International. It's the new brand. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, as we grow wide and far, internationalities and the connections universally. Super. Thank you so much. I'm super proud to be a part of this. Our guest was absolutely stunning. If only you could see the beauty that I see.
You can check out the photos at thehumblebadger.com and our social media links. And we'd like to thank our promotional partners at Living Arts Center. For more information about their programs and courses, you can visit livingartscenter.ca. For any inquiries from anyone about this show, please visit thehumblebadger.com. I'd like to thank our crew and thank you for tuning in. Signing off from the set here at Trax Ahead Studio. My name is Pablo Dawson. Wherever you are and whatever you do, remember to follow your passion.
Thank you for tuning in to the Humble Badger podcast. For more information, please visit thehumblebadger.com. The Humble Badger podcast is produced by the Pablo Dawson Company. Context matters. See you next time.